usiku katika kituo chako bora cha ITV Superbrand Afrika Mashariki.
Lete video ya sherehe yako iliyohaririwa kwa ubora wa picha na sauti inayoanzia dakika 5 kwa gharama ya shilingi 350,000. Kwa maelezo zaidi wasiliana na idara ya masoko ITV.
In Capital News tonight, Land Military Force prepares terrorism training. Government says no compensation for people who build in road reserve and open space areas. And in sports, the Vodacom Premier League defending champions Simba Sports Club defeat Azam FC by 1-0 at the National Stadium. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get things started with the national news. The Land Forces Commander of Tanzania People's Defence Force, Major General George Thomas Msongole, has said the force is well prepared to prevent criminal activities which include terrorist training in forest areas of the country. He made the statement during a military training at Misamo Ward, Tanganyika District in Katavi region.
Some people are using our forests to cause disturbance of peace, harassing the people of Tanzania. We are ready and will not let this carry on. During the operation, we were able to reach all areas with caves and hills and other areas used to hide stolen vehicles.
The Minister of Land, Housing and Settlement Development, William Lukuvi, has warned against construction along road reserve areas and in open spaces, stating that those who violate the directive will have their structures demolished and will not be paid compensation. He gave the warning during a public meeting at the Old Market Ground in Handeni District, Tanga region.
Reserve, when we decide to use that area, your house will be demolished without compensation. The government has the right to take land if it is for the interest of the general public. All those who have built on open space, you are sitting on a time bomb. You have worked to help the weak get their rights. You did not start with us. You've worked far and wide. We commend you.
President Dr. John Magufuli has met with leaders of the Asia-Africa Legal Consultative Organization who are attending the 58th meeting in Dar es Salaam. Among leaders who met with President Magufuli include the chair of the meeting, Ambassador Dr. Augustine Mahiga, the Minister of Legal Affairs and Constitution, the Vice President of ALCO, Professor Mohamed Shalade, the Secretary General, Professor Kennedy Gastron, and the 3 Deputy Secretary Generals of the organization.
Excellency President to meet with us among his very busy schedule, and we also wish to express our appreciation to Tanzania for the long time cooperation and support to our organization. And during the meeting, President gave us a very important guidance as a legal consultative organization in the Asian and African country.
Jukwaa hili la nchi 49 za ALCO. Napo jana tumezungumza kwa nusu siku na tukakubaliana kwa kauli moja. Kwanza, kisheria vikwazo si halali. Katika sheria ya kimataifa, nchi moja kuamua peke yake, hata nchi mbili, hata tatu peke zao, kuwekea vikwazo nchi nyingine, kisheria ya kimataifa sio halali.
Seven students accused of burning dormitories at Kiwanja Secondary School in Chunya District, Mbeya region, have been expelled from the school, while students who have not completed payments to be used for renovation of the dormitories have been given another week to complete the procedures. One of the students was expelled after being found with a mobile phone.
wanafunzi 7.
To the 7 students under police custody whose cases are still being heard in court, they've been expelled from school. But there's also an additional student whom a couple of days ago was one of the students who reported back, who was found to have a mobile phone as well as some condoms. He is also expelled. Those who have paid half and those that haven't paid at all, you've been given 1 week until November 1st to be back in school. I am the Regional Police Commissioner from Mbeya. I have 3 years before I retire. I urge you to stop this nonsense and concentrate in your studies so you can achieve your goals.
Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court in Dar es Salaam has said that guarantors of Tundu Lissu have to appear in court to present documents on his health status when the date for the case is set. Tundu Lissu and 3 co-accused face 5 charges, which include writing incitement reports in newspapers in 2002 on turmoil in Zanzibar. This comes after resident magistrate Thomas Simba inquired on the development of Tundu Lissu's health, to which his guarantor Robert Katula said that the accused is still sick. State Attorney Estazia Wilson told the court that the case has come up for hearing and that they cannot proceed until Tundu Lissu's health improves and he is able to return to the country. The President of Zanzibar and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Ali Mohammed Shein, has said that the government has not prevented people from having children, but that it wants family planning to be used in order to prevent maternal and infant deaths and to be able to implement development programs. The statement was made on his behalf by the second Vice President, Ambassador Saif Ali Eid, at a discussion organized by United Nations Population Fund on family planning.
The government is not a single person, but everybody. Therefore, the issue on reproductive health is important for our own development, so we can have a generation that will take over from us for progressive development.
Tukiangalia kwa karibu zaidi nyumbani Zanzibar,
in spite of the government's efforts, the number of women on family planning is still low.
The Budget Parliamentary Committee has directed overseers of the Port of Dar es Salaam to ensure improvements being done are completed on schedule so the government can continue implementing other development plans at the port. The committee gave the directive during a tour to witness activities at the port aimed at improving efficiency.
Utaona kwamba kwa mara ya kwanza kwa mfano wiki 2-3 zilizopita
2 weeks ago, a very large ship docked in Tanga port, which has never happened before. So as the committee, we are very happy with the renovations, which will earn revenue for the government. There is renovation at the Dar es Salaam port. We have a dock which will be receiving ships carrying vehicles. But at the moment, there are 2 extra docks completed. However, there are 2 ships that have docked here, but it is taking too long to offload into a lorry.
Some residents from different parts of Dar es Salaam have expressed concern on mushrooming of betting games which are being operated illegally. They said the situation has contributed to increased truancy among students.
This has made the children to become thieves. My child never used to steal, but he goes through my bag now, searching for money, and he's only in standard 4. This is so scary. If it is possible, our government should make a plan, because children are not going to school anymore. All they want to do is gamble. This is so scary. If it is possible, our government should make a plan, because children are not going to school anymore. All they want to do is gamble.
Serengeti Breweries Limited, SBL, has launched a new logo which shows the history of its growth since its establishment in 1996. The logo was launched in Dar es Salaam by the Minister of Industry and Trade, Innocent Bashungwa.
I commend them for serving SBL customers well and for what they have done today. It shows they care about their customers, and their change in logo is a good strategy to provide better services.
This is our 20th birthday, so we have been in operation for 20 years. And we thought it's about time that we unveil a new corporate identity. The most important thing today I want to do is to really thank our customers, our consumers, our stakeholders for the support that they have given us over the last 20 years.
That's all for national news. International news is next. And in international news, weekly strikes along the coast of Kenya held by cargo transporters, activists and business people opposing the government's directive to transport containers on the new standard gauge rail from Mombasa to Nairobi have continued. The demonstrators say that use of rail transport will undermine their businesses.
We asked the President, why have you distanced yourself from these words in Mombasa? Our leaders in Mombasa are sleeping. We were expecting you to explain to residents of Mombasa the other day that these words have been taken back. What we oppose is business monopoly, like the SGR being the only one to transport containers without competing with lorries. Business is what we want.
Uganda's cabinet has approved allocation of $1.57 million to remove street children in Kampala City and to put them in centers where they'll be looked after and provided with food, clothing and education.
We are also looking into feeding the 700 children we already have in our custody and those we will remove from the streets. It is our responsibility to ensure that they are fed and go to school.
Efforts to amend Kenya's constitution that include reduction in number of legislators and change of a presidential term in office to 7 years, a term that has been thwarted after members of parliament from 45 constituencies rejected the bill, which was tabled in the Senate by the leader of the Third Way Alliance party, Dr. Ekuru Aukot.
With members of the public as we plan to roll out the phase 2 of Punguza Mizigo campaign, which we are now dubbing Punguza Mizigo Kenya, PMK. Now, are there public benefits of Punguza Mizigo bill? People have asked, what are the public benefits of Punguza Mizigo bill? As you all know, the bill aims to address a number of issues, but I'll just mention a couple. One, to annihilate or end the cancer of theft of public money through severe and timely punishment of thieves of public money. When we made that proposal, we actually costed how much money will Kenyans save if they adopted Punguza Mizigo.
The German defense just recently proposed establishing a security zone in northern Syria together with NATO partners as well as Turkey and Russia. Austin Davis, our correspondent from Deutsche Welle, joins us with more. Austin, tell us more about what the establishment of the security zone and, in a sense, what would it mean?
Yes, so on Monday night, the defense minister here in Germany, Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer, gave an interview with Deutsche Welle in which she surprised everybody here, both at home and abroad, when she announced a proposal to erect a security zone in Syria, northern Syria. This would be led by Germany and European and NATO partners, but would also bring both Turkey and Russia to the table. Now, what that would mean in her her own words, would be two goals. One would be to establish a protective zone for ethnic minorities, including the Kurds, in this northern Syria region. We know about 160,000 individuals, civilians included, have been displaced since the Turkish offensive started. And then the second goal would be to create a stronghold of sorts for European and NATO partners to once again pick up the fight against Islamic terror and particularly the Islamic State in northern Syria.
So the defense minister reportedly did not properly inform her coalition partners. What is the reaction to this public proposal been, and what could it do to Chancellor Merkel's coalition, which has already been experiencing turbulent times?
That's correct. Now, the defense minister announced this proposal in an interview Monday night pretty spontaneously, and though she did say during the interview that she had the backing of not only the chancellor, but also other foreign policy and defense experts within her party, reports after the fact said that she had not properly informed the Social Democrats, the junior coalition partners in Chancellor Merkel's cabinet. Apparently, Foreign Minister Heiko Maas was informed just shortly before the interview on Monday night that this proposal was going to be announced via text message. Now, that of course stirred the pot in a relationship that is already very tense. Now, it's yet to be seen whether or not this will have a dramatic effect on the coalition. Coalition partners, that being Angela Merkel's Christian Democrats, or CDU, and the SPD, are getting ready to meet in December to go over their record in a halfway period in this relationship with one another. Whether or not this will have any sort of impact on the coalition is yet to be seen, but Merkel herself, Chancellor Merkel, did say that the idea of establishing a security zone in Syria is promising, although the SPD still did say that it needs a little bit more clarity as to what a plan would actually look like. The defense minister wasn't very forthcoming with any concrete plans about the security zone, so this could mean everything from a no-fly zone in Syria or even German troops on the ground, which would be a huge paradigm shift in German defense policy.
And how has the public responded to this statement, as well as overall, what has been the consensus on this proposal?
I think there hasn't necessarily been a consensus, and that's the interesting point of this. As I said, this is a complete paradigm shift in German policy. This would mark the first time in Germany's post-war history that it actually took it upon itself to initiate some sort of military action or to band together a coalition of Western partners to stake out some sort of military action in a country. Deutsche Welle actually had a survey up on our website asking the public what it thought about the defense minister's proposal, and about 57% of respondents had said that they supported a proposal to create this security or protectorate zone in northern Syria, given that it gave Western partners a better foothold against Islamic terror. About 14% said that they were undecided about the initiative, and about 29% said that the initiative, the proposal, wasn't very good because it would bring too many political and national partners into an already crowded field in Syria. Now remember, the defense minister did say that both Turkey and Russia would be brought to the negotiating table to discuss this stability zone and protectorate zone in northern Syria. That's very controversial in and of itself, given that both are huge power brokers in the region.
Thank you very much, Austin, on that insight. And that special report and our international news. Will be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
And in business news, more than 60 female pilots from different parts of the world have arrived in the country to tour various national parks. The pilots are visiting Tanzania's tourist attractions after attending a Women Pilots Association meeting in Malawi.
We chose Tanzania because we couldn't find any game parks closer to my home, which is Malawi, that could accommodate so many of us. But we're very, very happy to be here today, and we'd like to thank the Tanzanian government for helping and assisting us to make this possible.
Naamini watu hawa kwa jinsi profession yao jinsi ilivyo.
I believe that these people, based on their profession as pilots who travel the world over, that they will promote the national park and the country.
Maana hifadhi ya taifa Arusha, lakini pia na nchi yetu kwa ujumla.
And stakeholders from financial institutions under the central bank have said establishment of a credit bureau which has data on businesses which take loans and those which default will enable them to know who qualifies to access loans.
Lakini kwa mfumo huu wa kuweza kuweka taarifa za uhimili wa madeni na taarifa za fedha mbalimbali za mkopaji.
With this new system, it will make it easy for financial institutions to be able to cope with different effects that come with the loans and capital provision business.
Na mabenki, mataasisi wanatumia hizi taarifa kufanya lending decision yao.
Banks will use these reports to make their lending decisions, and this credit score will help banks and other financial institutions give loans more effectively, and it will also give people the opportunity to get loans from these institutions.
That's all for business news. Sports is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Marquinhos, he did lose to Lent.
And in sports, the Vodacom Premier League defending champions Simba Sports Club have proceeded with their 100% win record this season, defeating Azam FC by 1-0 at the National Stadium in Dar es Salaam. The only goal of the game was scored by the league leading scorer Medi Kagere, who headed a fine cross from Francis Kahata in the 49th minute. And boxer Suleiman Kidunda has reached the quarterfinals of the World Military Championships proceeding in Wuhan, China.
Today's fight was tough because the opponent was very cautious. So for me it was tough because I couldn't land all my dangerous punches on him the way I wanted. So I made him suffer and won by points. I asked Tanzanians to keep praying for me because everyone is prepared for this competition. And as you can see, every boxer here is a good one. So the most important thing is to pray to God, and I have prepared myself. I know what I have to do.
Kawhi Leonard began a new career chapter on Tuesday night, scoring 30 points to go with a strong bench effort in a 112-102 victory over LeBron James and the Lakers in the team's season opener. Here's more on this story.
It's a great sign of leadership, Coach Doc Rivers said. He talks with his game. Leonard chose the Clippers after winning the title with the Toronto Raptors last season because he wanted to come home and his family was on hand. All those emotions went through me again, he said. Lou Williams added 21 points and Montrezl Harrell had 17 off the bench when the Clippers began their 50th season overall and 36th in Los Angeles as the once unlikely but now favorites to win the franchise first NBA championship. It's one of 82 games, Rivers said. Next. The Lakers showed off their new 1-2 punch of James and Anthony Davis. Davis scored 25 points, making 9 of 14 free throws, and James had 18.
Jurgen Klopp has warned Liverpool must improve away from Anfield in the Champions League group phase, as there will be no repeat of last season's lucky qualification for the knockout stage.
The European champions visit Belgian champions Genk tonight, seeking a first away win in the group stage of the competition for over 2 years. Liverpool's last group away win was the 7-0 defeat of Maribor in October 2017, the only victory in the last 10 such outings, while their last 4 trips at this stage have all ended in defeat, including last month's Group E opener at Napoli. Last season's setbacks counted for nothing as Liverpool lifted the European Cup for a 6th time, having pipped Napoli to a place in the knockout stages. Klopp, however, is adamant Liverpool will not survive a repeat this season and must leave Belgium with maximum points.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. My name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and good night.
Aina kupitia chaneli yetu ya YouTube ITV Tanzania. Cha kufanya, ingia YouTube, halafu tafuta chaneli yetu ITV Tanzania. Usisahau kubonyeza subscribe ili uweze kuunganishwa nasi kwa taarifa zetu zote. Kumbuka pia kuruhusu notification ili ujulishwe kila wakati tunapoweka taarifa mpya. ITV Tanzania, njia pekee ya
This week on Turning the Spotlight, we look at how recyclables can be turned into pieces of art.
From initiatives such as My Trash, My Treasure, and now this Zero Waste exhibition that we currently are in, more and more people are becoming aware that you can actually turn, regular trash into pieces of art.
Actually, the zero waste philosophy advocates for 9 R's, which stand for redesign, rethink, reuse, recycle, rot, repair, and renovate.
This exhibition is trying to focus on creating more awareness about the zero waste lifestyle.
The way we use the product, the way we use the commodities,